Hi, this tutorial is designed to give you some feedback on the colonization paragraph that you've been working on this past week. Okay, so the goals for this tutorial are two. One is recognize the problems in using ICE, and the way that I do that is I look at some of the student sentences that I've seen at each one of these component parts of ICE, and then I give some feedback in this tutorial. And the goal here is that you identify these problems and that you can solve these on your own based upon the feedback. So the first thing I want to start out here is that the purpose of ICE is to prove a topic sentence. So the topic sentence is the statement that you want to prove, and that comes through the use of the writing strategy of ICE. So let me just say this about a topic sentence. It is a simple statement that needs to be proven. And that for this assignment, your topic sentence must be a statement about how the colonization impacted the Native Americans. A lot of you are using the word that it changed their lives. I'm looking for something to be more specific. How did it change their lives? What was the impact of colonization? And it should be a short and simple sentence. Okay, so here's the first sentence that I chose to look at. Colonization stated that Columbus violated the Native Americans. Okay, so the feedback that I offer this sentence is this is kind of confusing because colonization is really an idea. Ideas don't state what people do. And I'm going to say that to improve this kind of sentence, you make a claim about colonization. What do you want to say about colonization in terms of how it impacted the lives of Native Americans? And you don't want to use the word affect or impacted their lives. Yes, we know that, but how did it do that? Be specific here. And I would say use the word violate, the word violated as a verb. So colonization violated, however you want to put it, and it didn't violate the Native Americans. Be more specific. And refer to the notes on libertarianism. I think that will go a long way in helping you write a good topic sentence that needs to be proven. Okay, here's another topic sentence. Colonization was a political decision that changed the lives of the Native Americans' lives and rights. So here's the feedback I offer here. This is too much information for a topic sentence. Topic sentences should be clear and concise. There should be no confusion going on here. And here we've got two things going on: that it changed the lives of Native Americans and rights. I'm not sure I understand where the rights comes in. I agree that rights is a part of this discussion. It just needs to be stated clearer. And the question that you want to ask and then answer is, what was the impact on Native Americans? And I'm going to say that many of the papers I've read so far, colonization violated the basic rights of Native Americans. And that's a statement that then needs to be proven if that's your topic sentence. Here's another sentence. The natives were affected by colonialism in many ways. This sentence is just way too vague. Again, how did colonialism, or actually it should be colonization, it's not colonialism. Colonialism is a historical period. Colonization is the actual process of establishing and governing colonies. So how do you go about improving a sentence like this? obviously you need to use disciplinary language. This is everyday language in many ways. It's everyday language, and therefore that's what causes the vagueness in the sentence. And what I would say is replace the verb were affected, that's this one here, with a verb that stresses how colonization affected the Native Americans. So this part here needs a whole new verb, and the subject should be colonization. Okay, it's not the natives, it's colonization. How did that impact the lives of Native Americans? And replace natives with Native Americans. Native simply means people are born on that land, and it leads to confusion here when you use the natives. We don't know what natives we're talking about, or what you're talking about. Okay, so the next part is introducing the evidence, and here this could be a phrase, or it can be a complete sentence. But what it does need to have here is the source needs to be identified when you introduce evidence, and it directs readers to the evidence, almost orients, kind of like what we've been doing at the start of the class. I tell you what the goals are, what we hope to accomplish, and really that gives you some orientation to what's going to happen in the class. And that's the same thing you want to do right here, is give the reader some indication about what the evidence is. So here's one sentence. De las Casas explains how the Spanish treated the native. Okay, this is an effective introduction of evidence. I think the sentence is kind of awkward, but it tells us who the source is and what's going to follow. I might say explains the poor treatment of Native Americans, would be a better way of saying that, but this is an effective way of introducing. Here's another one. According to John Lewin, colonization took away the Native Americans' rights. This is really not introducing evidence, but repeating a topic sentence. And this is one of the problems that I'm seeing in many different papers, is that we tend to repeat the topic sentence. Okay, the topic sentence is stated once and only once. We don't want to be repeating the same topic sentence over and over again. To improve this sentence here, what I would suggest is that you make the Spanish the subject of the sentence. So according to Lewin, the Spanish, and then what did they do? And then you follow it up with a quote. Okay? Okay, citing evidence. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. I'm going to show, this is one student's paper, and De las Casas wrote, when the Indians were thus still alive and hanging, the Spaniards tested their strength and their blades against them, ripping chest open with one blow. Okay, this is the only way to cite evidence. We have De las Casas, the source. What did he do? He wrote. What did he write? When the Indians were thus still alive. Okay, this is the way you want to do it. If you're doing it another way, it needs to fit this method here. There's way too many people using different ways of citing evidence, and the other thing is you're always using quotations when you cite the evidence. It tells the reader that it's somebody else's text and this is the evidence. That's a very important thing. Very simple though. No other way will work. So explaining. Okay, to do that, I'm giving you the the introduction, the evidence, and then the explanation. I think that gives a better way of actually evaluating and giving you some feedback on, how do you go about writing these sentences that explain the evidence and completes the supporting point. So Columbus took the natives' land, period. I found many islands filled with many of them just took the possession for their highness. Columbus just took the natives' rights, so he claimed America was his, then his when it was the natives, and he didn't even consult them. Okay, so one of the things that I make the comment here, introduction of the evidence seems incomplete. Okay, Columbus took the natives' land. Okay, what's happening here is there is no source given. So citing the evidence does not tell the source, and the words are missing from the evidence. I went back and looked at the internet. I found this quote, and there's a number of words that are missing. So we need to be careful when we're citing evidence. And I know it's very easy to omit a word, which means leave out a word. It's easy to miss strings of words. It's easy to type them in wrong, but this is something that you have to be very careful with. And the other thing is the explanation needs to prove that in taking the natives' land, they took away their rights. That's what the focus has to be. So if I take away the land, I'm really taking away the property rights of the Native Americans, because I am denying them an opportunity to own or to possess the land. Okay, that's what needs to be made in the explanation, and this one's not doing that. So here are some closing comments, and this is based on all the sentences. Read your papers aloud before turning them in. You can see as I'm reading them out loud, you can hear when a sentence is just not worded correctly. There's problems with it. So read your papers out loud before turning them in, and obviously make the corrections. For each supporting point, that means the ICE, make sure it proves the topic sentence. Okay, you saw a couple examples here where the topic sentence was not being proved with ICE. Ask questions if you don't understand or get stuck on something. A number of you are not asking questions, some of you are, and those are the papers that seem to be improving. So there's a direct relationship to the quality of the paper and the types of questions we're asking. Okay, that's it for now. If you have any questions, you can rewind this, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.